GM, we are live. Bindles, good morning to you. Thank you so much for coming in. I actually just ran up the stairs because I hit the go button and I wasn't ready, but I did not want to go past 8:30. Dirty Pete, Bindles jumping into Dynasty for the first time. You're that guy. Yes, Bindles is a something of a Dynasty expert. I could definitely vouch for that. Yes, I'm slightly out of breath here. Good morning, Best Ball on Call. Joel, GM to you, and B. Grandy, GM to you. Thank you so much for coming in. Let me get the ducks going here. Hold on. Feeding the ducks. All right, so I think right now we'll just let's check the Husky fill rate. I am really into the Husky right now. It's not like snap filling, so we don't have to, panic and try to rip all of those. I think I've done 3 Huskies so far. I do plan on maxing this contest. It's a really, really friendly advance rate. When you're looking at it, we got 3 of 12 and then 2 of 8 and 1 of 6 in a 117 seat final. So a really friendly big board style 3 of 12 and then 2 of 8 is really nice to get you into that week 16. So pretty fun contest. Price point's a little high, $40 entry, but it is a 10 max. So again, I think if I were to compare for if I was going to spend $500 on $400 on entering these versus however many 8 BBMs, I think this is really just the better value there. So let's just hop right into a BBM here. Let's get going. I'll count this down from 5 and we will be underway. I know my math was off. It's more than 8 BBMs. But whatever it is, I think it's the better deal. 15 BBMs. Yeah, someone who's a little more at the ready. Again, I'm sorry, I was really up against the time today, so I'm slightly out of sorts. All right, I'll count this down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. Waiting for 5. If you want to hop into this BBM, let's make this happen. Dirty P, I got you, fam. Yeah, Bindles is truly the Dynasty expert, except apparently you'll find Dirty P lurking in the Dynasty streets. Dirty P needs these ducks for the Husky you missed out on. I don't know which Husky I missed out on. I know in the Matic Discord he was entered one. I think I was in the following one last night, but I've really liked drafting the Husky team so far. I think they've been a lot of fun. UCF Jaguar, GM to you. Thank you so much for hopping in and hanging out this morning. Let me get the banner rolling, although I really need to update this. I need to update this because I've done, I think this is BBM 77 for me. So we're just past the halfway point, starting to get serious as far as the fill rates go. I think we're almost halfway full, so trending slightly ahead of that. But I think the fill rate's going to kind of start exponentially increasing compared to where it was at before. You kind of see that as training camp rolls along, as the season gets closer. I don't remember when BBM filled last year, but I know I want to say it was like 2 weeks before the season. So if you're kind of like counting it down to September 4th, there's, I know somebody online kind of tracks the fill rates on these, and it needs to pick up the pace to fill in time, but I think it will, because that's just like how this thing goes. You have a lot of people who are planning to max it who have a lot of contests left, so it's not like those time box contests where everyone who is deep in the streets just kind of apes in right away. So we will see. Tim, the Broncos country, let's ride. Got to get more Diami Brown. I have plenty of Diami Brown. That is not somebody that I am need a ton more of, but I like Diami Brown. I think he's a great click in the 16th to 18th round. He just makes a ton of sense. He's going to be out there a lot, and we all want parts of the Jags offense. Joel, it was the Saturday morning Labor Day weekend, if I recall correctly. Okay. Yeah, I just don't remember how far that was from BBM, but I'm assuming it was at least a week before. But yeah, Either way, it is starting to get down to crunch time. Let's see. So, did anybody get in here with me? Is J-Dubs, is that you, Joel? I can't remember if that's your handle. I know you start with a J. I think that's you there in the one. All right, let's see what happens. Do we want Justin Jefferson, or are we going to be a coward? I think I'm kind of going to be a little bit of a coward, and I'm going to take Saquon here. I kind of want to see where Jefferson ends up. I think I'm actually slightly ahead of market on him, so I can cool on that a bit. As we talked about yesterday, I'm way underweight on a few guys I like, including Neighbors and BTJ, but I'm not at the point where, you know, if I only had less than 10 drafts, I might take them and try some kind of like board flip draft, but I don't think I need to do that on here. We can play this one by the book. Okay, good, Joel. I thought that was you, and then I did not want to accuse you of being someone else. Dirty P back to punting this Husky. Hey, good luck there in the Husky streets. They are fun drafts. The 10 max is a nice number. You know, it means you'll probably get to, you know, you're obviously not going to get all 12 draft spots, but hopefully you get some kind of mix of early, middle, and late draft. So you can kind of, you know, pick your favorite guys and take your stands there. So it is a really good again, the 3 of 12 is so nice. The 3 of 12 is so nice, and 2 of 8 is awesome. Like getting through that second round, only needing to finish in the top quarter is really friendly. Mike asks, you mostly solo stream because the other streamers are still in bed snuggling their teddy bears. I'm happy to have other people on. I don't know. There is a lot of teddy bear snuggling, Mike. That is 100% right. But I do know there are some people earlier. PPR Tyler came on a couple weeks ago, which was awesome. He was my first guest, and he was fantastic. Bailed me out of I was in a non-underdog state, so we were able to let him take the helm, and that was a really fun stream. But yeah, you know, it is nice and early. It's nice to wake up with you guys. As you can see, I was like running around with my head cut off this morning. I'm finally getting back, finally getting my feet back under me here. Let's see, Brock Bowers at the 19. Just looking at the board, don't see anything too crazy, except Amon-Ra at 16. That is, I'm not going to call that too crazy, but that feels slightly crazy. Tyreek here is fine. It's the only issue I have with taking Tyreek here is that he was going a lot earlier in the contest, so not getting it in the best. But that said, whoever I get at 28 is going to be fine. So I don't think I'm like absolutely buried. Like, I'm sure there's people that got Saquon, a second rounder, and then Tyreek. That 100% has happened. The question will be, you know, who I get at 28. I think it's still going to be a really strong player to where I'm fine. You know, anyone here in this Garrett Wilson and up range are all guys that I'm in on. So I actually think I'll just cue this by the ADP here. My preference is generally Wilson over Harrison, but I have a ton of Garrett Wilson, and so I can back off of that slightly if I need to. Interesting to see if Josh Jacobs rises slightly with the Marshawn Lloyd news. You know, it's I guess I'll take Josh Jacobs here. I don't do a ton of Saquon Jacobs here. Again, if I'm talking about this Tyreek, I think there's going to be some teams that have Saquon, Jacobs, and Tyreek, but just flip the order. So this makes me feel like I didn't get it in too terribly bad with Hill there. But with Marshawn Lloyd, you know, having the non-contact injury, I don't think we quite know the severity of it. You know, that it seemed like he was kind of running away with that RB2 job. You know, they seem to like Jacobs enough as a workhorse. I don't know if I don't know if it's actually going to impact that much, but, you know, perception-wise, it could just seem like it's going to be another Josh Jacobs kind of runaway season, and so I could see him kind of creeping up ever so slightly, or at the very least not falling. He does randomly fall. People are not excited to click Josh Jacobs. He is, you know, not the most exciting click on the board, but I think he does make a ton of sense here. right, let's see. Bindles asks, how many modalities are we training this gentleman? Well, I hopefully at least a minimum of 3 out of 6 Bindles. But if we can hit, I think 4 to 5 is that sweet spot. If you're doing 6, it's too many. For those that don't know, Bindles has had a fantastic back and forth with Best Ball Guy on training and fitness and functionality. And we all learned together there are 6 modalities of fitness. Strength is one of them. Don't ask me what the other 5 are. I'm assuming flexibility is one. That sounds right. So I feel like I can get 2 out of 6, but maybe maybe a fitness knower can fill us in on the rest of this. Best Ball on call GM2. Thank you for coming in. Better divide Reed versus Golden or the Jags RBs? Are you talking about like the on like Best Ball slappies, like who they're taking, or you mean I'm sorry, I don't quite understand the question. I fall on the Golden side. I don't take a ton of Reed. The market, yeah, it's like completely split, and I feel like it's one of those things where the Reed people don't even realize that there's like people that just take Golden ahead of him every time. I don't know if I want to go Saquon Hurts. I don't think I want to take I'm just going to keep on clicking Jameson Williams until the cows come home here. But yeah, I feel like the Reed people don't even realize that that there's just like a Golden contingent that doesn't click them, and the Golden people are like, who's actually clicking Reed here? It is pretty wild. Then the Jags RB, oh my gosh, I don't even know. I mean, I feel like we were drafting them all in the wrong order. It seems from what's going on at camp that Bigsby, Bigsby should probably be first, and then Etienne and Tootin, depending on how much you think Tootin's going to get as the season kind of rolls along. I don't know if we want to do Waddle and Tyreek. I could potentially do Zay Flowers. Oh, I can't do Zay Flowers because he just went. I feel like Ken Walker is fine, and we'll just make a really strong running back room here. We'll kind of lean into this, probably stop at 5 here. So for the audio listeners, we've got a 0-3-2-0 with Saquon, Jacobs, Ken Walker at running back, and then Tyreek Hill and Jameson Williams at wide receiver. ATX Bearcat says 8% of each. I mean, that could just be the answer. That could just be the answer. Donnie Murphy, hey, GM to you. Thank you so much for coming in this morning. The ATX Bearcat, you touch on a good point with the 8% thing, because what I've realized is that when training camp hits, you're getting so many like highlights and word that like player X is like crushing camp, to the point where you're like, how much of them do I have? How much of this guy do I have? So it's like, I'm kind of like, the 8% pros, it must be so nice. It's like, yeah, all right, this guy's doing great. Okay, good. I've got my 8%. Oh, this guy stinks. Well, I only have 8%. Versus just like the like frantic, I don't know, like feeling like, ooh, I'm way underexposed, or why do I have 15% of this 9th round click and 2% of this other one? Like they're not that different. Which is one of the reasons I think having an overlay, again, the only reason I'd want an overlay is to see my exposures to try to balance things out. But the real reason I don't have one is because like in an individual team, I really want to be thoughtful about the clicks, and I don't want to be clicking a guy for portfolio reasons. Like, at the end of the day, if you get to the finals, you're going to be judged on this lineup. You're not going to be like, oh, well, he has this player, but he's got 13% of this other player, like in all his 149 dead teams. Like, I want to make sure that I'm building the best lineups each time. And, there are situations where it is a true coin flip, and then might lean towards the exposures. But I just think overall, like, you don't want to sacrifice like individual lineups to like make your portfolios look good. ATX Bearcat, every draft should stand alone. Yeah, that's 100% right. I think people get lost in that. So I agree with you there. I would love Debo. I'm very in on Debo. If Debo goes, I am also very in on Steph Diggs at this point. Debo, I don't think you necessarily need to have I don't think you need to have Daniels for that to work. I think there's a chance that he really kind of is the engine of the offense in Washington. I don't really worry about the holdout. I think that's going to get resolved. So, maybe taking him now is kind of buying the top. If and when the holdout ends, he might slip back to kind of where he was. But I am quite in on what Debo can do. For my next pick, probably take a receiver. I would have probably taken Addison there at 76. Again, I think he's going to go here more and more when the suspension gets announced. Laporta's a perfectly fine pick. I take a ton of Laporta, but again, I think I'm going to keep clicking Golden over Reed. Maybe if Golden goes, that is a chance to get Reed. I was going to say if both of them go, then I'll take a falling Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin is kind of nice as a week 17 bring back to the Dolphins, but I think getting one of these Green Bay receivers to pair with Jacobs and build out that bet is nice. So I don't even get the choice. Jake, easy money. He's a Reed guy. I'm a Golden guy, and we can coexist peacefully next to each other. Just thinking ahead. If I want Love, maybe 117, because we'll keep an eye. He does have Lamar, right? He does have Lamar, which is the week 17 game with Washington. With Green Bay. So maybe he would not take Love there. Love's ADP is 126. So we'll have to keep an eye on Jake Easy Money. If he adds another quarterback, then I could potentially try to take Love at 124. If he doesn't, then if I'm in a position where I need a quarterback, that could be a priority. Thinking ahead to my quarterbacks, we got Tua as an option, we got Goff as an option, and we have Love. Potential backstacks with Darnold. Darnold to Ken Walker seems kind of not the end of the world, and there's a couple receiving options late for Seattle we could do. All right. ATX Bearcat actually have 13% Golden and 11% of Reed. Yeah, I think that's a reasonable way to play it. Like, I think they're both going to have their spike weeks, and I know I need to even that out. I've been clicking Golden ahead of Reed most of the time. I think the snap share stuff can throw people off when you have a high usage player. When you have a guy, they're gonna scheme a guy touches. Like, it's not like he's just like a rotational piece that they're putting in that gets the ball occasionally. Like, when he's on the field, there's his target rate is going to be kind of high. All right. Mike Robb says every draft should stand alone, which is why you need DeAndre Hopkins and Woody Marks, and each one gives you only the first 16 to worry about. Hey, if there's something to be said for making that stand, it's going to be super boom bust, right? Like, you're basically making, a $3,750 bet on Hopkins and Marks at that point. But if you're willing to throw that down, if that's how you want to play your portfolio, then you can. It's not how I want to do it, but I think it's I think there is something to be said for just like, okay, this is how I'm ending. This is how I'm ending my team. I can build from the back. Again, not how I want to do it, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it there. Tierra Charles, 8% sounds like a good way to lose money slowly. Yes, let me make my pick, and then I'll get to a point. I guess I'm just gonna take TJ Hawkinson. I really like Hawkinson. I think that's fine. He's a nice week 17 with JMO. Potentially opens up McCarthy if I really need another stack, but I think that's a perfectly fine click. So back to the 8%. Davis was saying, and I forget who he'd been talking about this with, but like, you probably, saying honestly the best way to play BBM is probably just to take ADP value, or if you just take your whole underdog season and all you do is scoop ADP value for 2,000 drafts, you'll probably find one that just creates a giga team. Just scoop all the closing lines, scoop all the ADP value. That's all you do. You'll probably build a winner. So I almost feel like if you that would probably end up being kind of 8%y. if you ignore your player takes, you might just kind of backdoor your way into a pretty strong season. Fields is interesting. Keon Coleman is nice. Of course, I could take more. I could take another Scatabo share. I'll take a Coleman. I'll take Keon Coleman here. The only issue with Coleman is he's you can't backstack him later, but I do like Coleman in this position. I take a ton of Scatabo. I have a massive Scatabo bag. I think he would have been fine, but with Barkley, Jacobs, Walker, felt like maybe just adding one more receiver that I'm somewhat excited about to the team did make sense. I'll pull the board back up so people can see what's going on. Just keeping an eye on Jake Easy Money. He did not add a quarterback, so if I want Cam Ward, Love to be my quarterback, might have to take him here at 117. We'll see if he even comes around. He can be popular. The Lovecraft duo is a very very easy instant stack you can get. You do see this happen. Our king Scatabo, he goes off at 106. Who Hames, Sup Fam, GM, thank you so much for hopping in. Who Hames, if y'all don't sub to Who Hames, you should. Who Hames is crushing it out there. He comes on at 5 p.m. Central Time. It's a great watch. It's a really great watch every day. Terrence, except for the first and second round, which is filled with potential outliers. Yeah, I don't know, Terrence. I'm like, again, I think if you did the 8%, but just weighted towards getting ADP values, there's like this kind of stuck in my mind. Like there might just be something to that, but that would also be the most boring way to draft. And like at that point, I'd probably rather just do something else. That would not be fun to just sort by ADP and just go off of that every time. All right, let's see what the room is handing to us. We've got I was gonna say Goff as a potential possibility with JMO. We could take Love here. We could take Kraft here. If Kraft comes to us, I think we're gonna try it. I think I am a little worried though that I'm not gonna get. I'm only gonna end up with one quarterback. I don't know. We're gonna take Kraft. We're gonna take Kraft and stop at 2 tight ends. We've got Hawk and Kraft. Hopefully we can get Love. We'll queue up Goff. We'll queue up McCarthy. We'll queue up Drake May. We've got 5 more picks and 3 quarterbacks. Excuse me. I'm struggling here. Got to clear my throat. Okay, we're back in business. If all 3 of these quarterbacks go, then we're just gonna take naked Justin Herbert. Like I don't know what to do. I need a quarterback. I can't get out of round 11 with no quarterback so far. So fingers are crossed. Some of the quarterbacks have gone. JJ McCarthy went not even to the Jefferson drafter, probably the Addison drafter. Yeah, the Addison drafter always takes McCarthy. They have like a complex. So Goff is higher by ADP, but I think this team, I think we've kind of made a bigger bet on the Packers here with Jacobs, with Reed, with Jacobs, Golden, and Kraft. So far the team through 11 rounds is a 1-3-5-2. Jordan Love, Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, Ken Walker. Wide receiver room of Tyreek Hill, Jamison Williams, Deebo Samuel, Matthew Golden, and Keon Coleman. And tight ends of TJ Hawkinson and Tucker Kraft. Don't mind this team. I think it's fine. We're going to have a little bit of an issue with another quarterback. So this could be, in the ideal world, Tua will be our pick at 141. Let me see. I think the Waddle drafter's to my left. Where are you, Mr. Waddle? No, Waddle's over here. So we got to get past a guy with only Goff at quarterback, and so we'll see if this guy takes Tua. I'll queue Tua up. Tua's ADP's 150. Again, I don't think it's worth trying to push Tua around the corner. I think definitely prioritize him unless there's some just like absolutely crazy value coming to us. Then I think that's going to make more sense. Herbert still hasn't gone. I guess that's a little bit of an anomaly, a little bit of a fall on Herbert there. QJ is an interesting click. Starting to think about the running backs we can take. Really in on Tank Bigsby. I think Tank Bigsby might be a nice click here. So just have a few options in the queue. Yeah, Tank Bigsby goes at 137. So his ADP in the 150s is pretty illusory. I don't think that's gonna last. Herbert here at I was gonna say Herbert. What a value on Herbert. Kyle Williams wouldn't be a terrible click. Leggett would set up then taking Bryce Young around the turn. I might do that if Tua goes here. Tua does not go. I'm not gonna push my luck. I'm just gonna take him here. So we add Tua to pair with Tyreek on the team. Perfectly happy with how that kind of shook out. Now thinking about our next selection, I think a running back would be nice. Again, I would have taken Bigsby there had that been an option. Tootin goes, and now we're kind of in heavy contingent value land. I don't like Rachaad White at all. I'm really not in on him, but you know, he makes a little bit of sense as a Week 17 Dolphins thing. He was so phased out late in the year. It just completely became the Bucky show that I think White is now like almost purely a contingent value and not like standalone plus contingent. This is also a big fall in Najee Harris. I definitely could consider that if he had come around. So we'll take White. I don't really love this pick, but I think he does. I think he does make sense. I'm willing to see that he's the contingent back on this team, but man, it really could be like Sean Tucker and Bucky and White just like in the, you know, cheering from the sidelines. All right, let's see. Bindle says a Hawk to a team. Yes, this is a classic. I didn't even realize it, but we have constructed the fabled Hawk to a team. So, you know, that is actually, I believe, what won the Dog Bowl last season was a Hawk to a team. So hopefully we can recreate some of that magic. Who Aim's asked doing a BBM? Yes, this is a BBM. I might try to fire a Husky next. We'll see. We'll see if there's interest from the people. I might hop into the Husky streets. Dirty P crushed that Husky. Hey, I'm glad your Husky went well. I know sometimes historically when you have been, you know, watching this stream and entering a different draft, it's gone south. So I'm glad this time it went well. All right. So if you watch Best Ball Breakfast, you know you get Pete's coffee poured. You don't get that here. The coffee comes pre-poured. You can have some coffee. It's first sip of the day. This is way late for me, but again, I was running around like a crazy man this morning. All right. That's what we need. There's gonna be more coffee sips because I am trying to wake up here. Isaiah Likely, pick 159. So not a huge dip, but a little bit of a fall. It sounds like he has broke his foot. The timetable says he might still be back for week 1. Foot injuries are a little scary. Foot injuries, you know, have a tendency to linger. You know, athletes, you know, all their explosive power comes off of the foot. I'm sure there's at least one out of 6 modalities require the foot, although, you know, maybe Bindles or BBG can clarify. But speaking of modalities, I probably need to just take Sam Darnold here. I don't really want this to just be a 2 QB team. I think it makes sense to pair him with Walker. We'll add in a late wide receiver or 2. You know, potentially Arroyo, but again, I think with Hawkinson and Kraft, we're just gonna keep firing darts at the wide receivers there versus adding a third tight end. Dirty P took Tank at 133, the 11-12. The king of the slappies moved him all the way up in the ranks. Yeah, I think that's gonna be around his new price. He went at around here, right? He went at where did he go exactly? Wasn't it 133? 137. So he went at 137 in this draft. So yeah, he is going to keep rocketing up the board. thinking about this, one of my wide receivers is going to be like an MVS or a Torrey Horton. That's one wide receiver slot. Running backs, Dowdle makes sense. I can't stop clicking Miles Sanders. I really like the Miles Sanders click. I like Diami Brown. Jerome Ford's a guy I don't want none of. Braylon Allen's been getting some good buzz. I'm gonna keep making this Miles Sanders bet until I hear otherwise. I think he's just such an upside bet with the possibility that he's really the primary over in Dallas. It sounds like his word out of camp has been that he looks pretty good. Now they could bring somebody in and just send Sanders to the utter shadow realm. So I probably don't want to take him every time, but in this range where it's more thin in contingent bets, I'm pretty in on taking Miles Sanders. I could thinking about how I want to end this team, I've got 3 picks left. If I want to pencil in MVS/Horton, if I want to listen to who was it that said it? I'm scrolling up here. Who was saying that we end our teams with Mike Robb? If we want to end with Hopkins and Woody Marks, we could potentially end the team exactly in that way. It would line up. It would line up. So let's see. I don't take much Hopkins, but honestly, I don't have a bring back for Baltimore, so that's like kind of almost makes sense. I really like Woody Marks, so let's see if we can do this. If we just end the team like this, we'll queue it up. We'll see what happens. We'll see if we get there. I'm not going to ignore the board. I'm not going to not take value on guys that would make sense for the team. Like I'm not clicking Woody Marks ahead of Braylon Allen or Dowdle. I think that's getting a little too. I think that's getting a little too cute. But also maybe not. Like maybe Woody Marks really is gonna get a role. I do think Houston, I don't know if there's a rumor or it's just like what the best ball, bros all want, but that Singletary would go to Houston, and I feel like that would just really muddy the waters and make it kind of dicey for the Marks/Chubb community. But I do think I'll take Hopkins here if he comes to me. If not, then I'll take Slayton or Brown. I'll take Hopkins here. I don't love Hopkins. I really don't, but I see the vision, and we'll add him to the team. I think it's fine. I think it's fine, especially if something does happen to the likely, maybe that opens up a little bit. Baltimore loves running their 12, so Hopkins, we'll see how much he has left. Dirty P says the Ducks were the heroes I need. Yes, the Ducks, you can go on YouTube and they have like a 15-minute extended version of the Ducks if you really need it. But I'd actually just recommend you could just watch one of these streams on replay. That would actually, I should probably advertise myself before random other channel. But also, by the way, it's been 34 minutes. Please like and subscribe. If you have not, then please do so. I don't have the like-o-meter up. I'm sure it would say something sad. So yeah, if you could please like and subscribe, that would mean a lot to me. It would help get the algo pushing more morning people my way. Dirty P says, did I hear a who? Horton, but his knee, bruh. See, I didn't even know he hurt his knee. We might just be windmilling in MVS. I'll queue up a few other receivers so I don't get caught flat-footed if that happens. Let me see. I don't think I want I like Savion, but I don't want to. I think I need to quad stack Jordan Love. I could put. I don't know if it's Malik Washington or Westbrook Ikeen. It is. I have not heard enough out of Dolphins camp to know who's really going to be the third. I think the coach said some nice things about Malik Washington, but it wasn't like any kind of definitive like who's running with who sort of thing. Who Hames is pulling Tank to 130s, 140s as well. I like Tank pre-draft quite a bit. Drafting 2 guys felt bad. So Who Hames says this is a Turpin team. Dirty P says I feel the same. Recovering Tootin Slappy. A Turpin team. All right, I'll add Turpin to the queue. I'll put him ahead of Atwell. I think that's fine. These are all such like late round darty picks that I think, this is where I don't want to take the huge stand, and I really kind of just want to vary them if I don't have, if I'm not building stacking purposes or bye week purposes. Kind of choose your own adventure among them. All right, Dark Side Dev. Hey, GMGU, thanks so much for coming in. Says that Malik Washington is a baller. As a Dolphins fan, I hope so. As somebody who's drafted no Malik Washington, I'm a little nervous if he's truly a baller. But, the third receiver in Miami has not been the most fruitful position fantasy-wise. So let's go over the team. We've got Jordan Love, Tua, Sam Darnold at quarterback. So I like my quarterbacks. Running back room of Saquon, Josh Jacobs, Ken Walker, Rashad White, Miles Sanders, Woody Marks. Kind of like my running back room. Tyreek Hill, Jamison Williams, Deebo Samuel, Matthew Golden, Keon Coleman, DeAndre Hopkins, MVS. I like my receivers, Hawkinson and Kraft. I like this team. Yes, yesterday, my first team, I thought it stunk. I didn't think it was good. I will be honest with you. I don't like my team. I will tell you. But you like my team? I will also tell you. So, J-Dubs, I don't know who you drafted. I'll review your team, and then we'll try to hop into a Husky. So, I guess I'll exit here because it won't show the last team. What am I looking at? Where's BBM? Where are you? This is embarrassing. I'm like blind. Okay, there it is. All right. This should be that team. I'll pull up the draft. All right. Mr. Worth, what did you do? You had a 2-6-8-2. Apologize. I was not following your team as we were going along. You were on the other. Actually, you were pretty close to me. Jalen Hurts and JJ McCarthy. So a 2-6-8-2. Chase Brown, James Cook, J.K. Dobbins, Zach Charbonnet, Jalen Wright, Will Shipley. Strong running back group there. Jamar Chase, Jordan Addison, Emeka Egbuka, Michael Pittman Jr., Josh Palmer, Jalen Knoll, Jalen Royals, Jalen Coker. You just like, I must, if their name is not Jalen, they are not welcome on the team. So you got Jalen Knoll, Jalen Royals, Jalen Coker, and then Trey McBride and Jig. I like the team. The Coker, the Coker pick to me, I'm a little less enthused about, but that's just me. I am. It's so crowded there in Carolina, but I don't hate it. Like, I think if Hunter Renfrow comes along, it's a possibility that that's just bad for like Thielen more than Coker. But now, very interesting team. I like the players. I think it's strong. You made your bet with Hurts and McCarthy. You didn't jam a third quarterback in. So it's also hard from the one hole. It's hard from the one hole because if you don't get a faller that matches with your stack, like you have to like super reach. So I think you were very patient with this team. So I do like the squad. All right. Time to get serious. Husky time. If anyone wants to hop in a Husky, I'll count it down from 5, and we will get in these Husky streets. So we will do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Husky. Waiting for 5. All right, if anyone wants to hop in a Husky, please let me know. Sorry, I'm getting a weird message here. Okay. Cool. All right. Here we go. Let me catch up with the chat real quick. Real team. Huhaim says all teams are Turpin teams. Yeah, I probably need to up my Turpin exposure. I do have a little bit of him, but probably at like 3 to 4%. Huhaim's Dirty P. I was overweight on Tank pre-draft, so faded him after the draft. Yeah, Huhaim's, I was like underweight Tank pre-draft. I thought they were just going to draft somebody that was going to dust. I didn't take ETN either. I had like 0 ETN. I'm like, these guys both stink. They're going to draft people. And then they did draft people, so I was kind of right. But they took like Tootin and Quinn Allen. It's like, well, now it's even more confusing. It was never ETN. No, never Etienne. Dirty P had 16% free 4 post. Joel says not on purpose. Was the not on purpose the 2 QB team? I'm sorry, I missed if there was some sniping situations. Huham Egbuka, my only non-J wide receiver, kick him out. Yeah, Joel was going crazy with the J receivers there. There was definitely it was like a challenge. And if your name was Jalen, it was double points there. Dirty P says the only way Etienne beats us is with the trade, but even then, he's basically expensive Rashad White. Yeah, but I think if Etienne went to like Dallas, we're all in trouble. That faded him because he's probably would be the best back on that team. I'll wait for this for another minute or so. If we don't get anybody else in, I might try to just hop into BBM. I thought these might fill a little quicker, being time boxed and being in the thick of slappy summer here. It's a good opportunity to get some coffee and to remind you to please like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Again, thank you all. Thank you so much for hanging out, spending the morning here with us, having fun. I like the team. Appreciate drafting with you all, and yep, hopefully we can get this Husky filled. If not, it's I'll hop in another BBM. All right, Huham says thoughts on the Browns owner talking that they expect Judkins to sign. I'm scared. I'm scared as somebody who has fairly heavy Judkins bags. I think it's only a positive if he signs. The problem is, like, when does he get up to speed? I mean, he's a rookie on like a bad team. Like, I don't know. The longer this goes on, the more he's not in camp, the more that it's really going to be like Ford and Sampson. I don't know. Huham just took Judkins at 132. Yeah, I mean, he has to sign. He has to like learn the playbook. The other problem is the commissioner's exempt list, like, is kind of a black box. They don't have to wait for the legal stuff to play out. I think the best outcome is Judkins pleas out, like the legal case is resolved, and then the NFL can just act, and he ends up like suspended, not just on the like commissioner's list. That's it's really bad. He's just super talented. Yeah, no, I know. So there is a price where, you know, where he makes sense to draft. I don't know how many games you're getting him. I don't know when he's not suspended, like how much they're going to use him if he's missed like all of the entirety of the off season, and it's like a bad team we don't think is going to score a lot of touchdowns. It's like the bet is getting like thinner and thinner, and so it's just like, it's just scaring me quite a bit. Dirty P says, is he better than Javonte or Sanders? I think he's a 0 in Dallas. Well, a wise man once said, like, running back is about like opportunity a lot more than talent. Like, Dallas is a pretty decent, I feel like they have a decent enough offensive line. I haven't checked the latest O-line rankings. Like, I just worry that he's going to be perceived as that, and the coaches are going to plug him in as like the one. Like, I don't know. I don't think Javonte is very good. I don't think Miles Sanders is that good. Like, I don't know. Yeah, no, I know you were talking about Etienne. I'm just, I think they'll just I think he'll just get the job. Like, that's what I'm scared of. Hey, by the way, we're waiting for one in this Husky. I removed Judkins from rankings, can't stomach it. Yeah, I think if I have Judkins, I haven't thought about this, but I would imagine I would want him to be like the 5th running back on a team where I have like a team where I could have stopped at 4. Like, if I go kind of hyper fragile and then add Judkins, I don't know, as just like major, like, I'm fine if this is a 0, I'm completely covered, versus a team where I've gone like 0 RB and he's just kind of in the mix. Because I think intuitively you would think he would be a good 0 RB pick, but like, he's almost 2-0. I don't know if I'm making sense. Like, I kind of want him as like the abundance of wealth pick versus the like maybe one of these darts works. I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know why I have this like concept where that makes sense, but we'll see. Huhaim says, I just got tanked back at 156 and the Judkins team. So yeah, you can just imagine they're flipped, and you're like, and that's fine. 132 seems fair. I'm tank over the I'm tank over to. Hey, Lay the House RM. Thanks so much for hopping in this morning. One of the good ones over on the gambling Twitter side of things. Definitely worth a follow there. ATX Bearcat asks what I'm trying to fill. This is a husky. This is a husky that we are in. This is husky number 4 for me. Huaim says, if I have 3 running backs by Scatabo, I'm fine with him after that. Yeah, like I think maybe that's kind of what I'm getting at. I think for me, I would be maybe want even more running back firepower, but I think conceptually, I think I'm on the same page as you. Dirty P says, if Judkins 20 touches a week from week 10 onward, I think it's a better bet than some others in the 130s. Yeah, but I don't know if we're even, I just don't know if we're guaranteed that. Like, I don't know. That's I guess that's my concern. We got a lot of friends and family in here. I'll make my pick. Oh, I kind of want to make this a CD Lamb team. I just did a, you know what? They can't tell me how to live my life. I'm going to take CD Lamb here. I just did a Saquon team with you all, so I'll keep it fresh. We'll do Lamb. I like all of these guys. I don't think I have a Lamb Husky team yet. We got Dirty P at the 1 hole. We got Mr. Worth here at the 9. I don't think I got any of you else in here, but if you are in here, let me know. If Seth Green, if you're in here, let me know. I really enjoy Robot Chicken. Fantastic show. But yeah, I don't know if Seth Green is actually in here or not. And yeah, all right, let's see. I'll pull the board up. We had Dirty P takes Jamar Chase, and Mr. Worth takes Puka at 9. A small fall on Puka, but again, it's get your guy season. We see Seth Green takes Malik Neighbors there. People just getting the guys they want. Lay the House RM, currently running 70 slows right now. No big deal. Oh my God. You are deep in slow draft hell, my friend. Good luck with that. I have 1 slow. Actually, let me check in on that. The problem with DraftKings is that they only send you like 1 notification you're on the clock, and if it happens when you're in the middle of a fast, like you just ignore it. And you could just end up on the clock and have no idea. All right, I'm not on the clock in that draft, at least. All right, Mr. Worth, he goes receiver. He takes Puka London, so he gets the instant Week 17 matchup. I like that. I like that start. Even if you didn't get the Week 17 matchup, Huhaim says, I can't believe Crane puts fired up 200 slows at once. I could not live my life like that. I do not enjoy slow drafts at all. I find them such a nuisance. I think I draft worse than fast drafts. I'll just take Jonathan Taylor here. I think that's a perfectly fine pick. So we get Lamb and JT over on this team. Can't complain about that situation there. We'll see what we end up with. FK Coolers, that's what I have going on currently. Are you talking about the 70 or the 200? Either way. Oh no. Yeah. Huhaim's FK Cooler is stronger man than me. Me too. My God, I just can't do it. I have like 20 and I'm like stressed out. Yeah, and I know it's like, oh well, just set a time aside every 8 hours to check, but it's like I don't want to do that. Like, and then you like, it's always like you make a pick and then you're like, oh no, wait, and it's like, you had 3 hours. Like, why do I still feel like I clicked the wrong name when I had so much time? Joel says, I'm with you. Slows drafts are tedious but necessary evil. I don't know that they're necessary. I think they're just evil, to be honest with you. Huhaim's, if I didn't work and had the money, I'd be in 100-ish at all times. They just kind of like grind on you like the sword of Damocles, like looming over your head. I'm just so out on the slow draft situation. We'll take an MHJ. I have plenty of Garrett Wilson, and I like Marvin Harrison Jr. I think that's fine. I did consider taking Jaden Daniels there, just as a kind of a footnote. Daniels would be a bring back on Lamb, And McLaurin, I don't think McLaurin would get back to 45. He does fall, but I don't think he falls that far. And then it sets up Debo at 69. I do like those teams, but just decided not to go that particular route on this team. But I think that's something that is somewhat doable on the left side of the board, can get you a little unique from the right side, where the elite QBs kind of tend to hang out a little more. If Daniels Doe falls to me at 45, I will, however, take him there. So far, we've got Jonathan Taylor, CD Lamb, and Marvin Harrison. Our friend Dirty P, he's got Jamar Chase, Josh Jacobs, and Bucky Irving, so he did not get the chance to do the Higgins Chase. He also declined the Week 17 Chase Harrison, which you see kind of frequently. J-Dubs, Mr. Worth, he goes triple wide receiver. He doubles up, though. He doubles up on the Rams. Interesting there. So he's got Devontae and Puka to pair with Drake London. So again, he is a massive Week 17 bet going on over there. And Jaden Daniels gets paired with Terry McLaurin, again, over here on the right side of the board, where you see the elite quarterbacks hanging out. All right. FK Coolers. I'd rather not do it, but I can't hit the volume goal without it. Yeah, to me, I'm just going to miss the volume goal. Like, I have learned you do not have to max every single contest. Lay the House RM. I can't be bothered to sit in front of a draft for 40 to 45 minutes at a time for 500 drafts. Yeah, I don't blame you. Tyler, GM. Hey, thanks so much for coming in. Bindles asks if I want a guest. Yeah, sure. I'd have to figure out how to do it on the fly. Let me make my next couple picks, and I'll try to send you a link. Tyler, with all this Stafford back FUD, I like my headless Rams doubles. Yeah. First of all, Tyler, thanks so much for coming in. Fantasy Sanctuary, fantastic follow. Oh my God, I'm on the clock. Oh no, we're gonna get more Jameson Williams. Whatever shall I do? Yeah. I wasn't planning on that, but I'm glad he was at the top of the board there. But yeah, Fantasy Sanctuary, great follow. Tyler, thank you. And yeah, the Stafford FUD, I would probably rather have Penix as my guy there, if I were to try to make a Week 17 mega bet. But also, it seems like this might be something that they've been managing for a while, and so we will see. ATX Bearcat Tyler, same. So ATX Bearcat agrees. Red 6 Sports GM, hey, thanks so much for coming in. Who Hames recommends I open StreamYard in another browser. And a thumbs up. Hey, thanks so much for coming in. All right. Let me see if I can do this. StreamYard. All right. We are coming back up. I wouldn't mind Walker or Hubbard. I also would be fine with Sutton. I do think I would like one of the running backs in this range before it gets too thin, kind of going the more balanced approach on this team, but we'll see what the room gives to us. I know I took Ken Walker in the last draft, but I think he makes sense. Connor would have been nice to double up on the MHJ bet, but it's perfectly fine. All right, let's see. Right, yes. All right, Bindles. Let me figure out the best way to send this to you. All right, Bindles. I DM'd you on Twitter a link if you want to hop in. We'll see if we can have our second ever guest on here. We'll see if that worked. Tyler says, that said, seems Stafford is okay, but long season banged up means a little more risk. Yeah, and I think that's right. It is a little concerning that it's like kind of public, and I don't know that we're talking about it. Like we know he's a veteran. We know he's gonna have like a certain amount of load management with his practices. Like that's not uncommon, but this seemed like it was like to just kind of another level here. Tyler, biggest risk is that Adams will be upset by Jimmy by the time Stafford is in. Oh God. Yeah. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully that doesn't happen. I'd like to see that offense click, because that is so much fun having Puka and Stafford there. All right, I'm gonna bring Bindles on. Bindles,
Dad,
hello.
my man.
Welcome,
How's it
welcome.
going, bro?
Good, good. How you doing?
Good. I do not have a mic or anything, so tell me if I sound absolutely terrible. But
No, no, we pride ourselves on low production quality here, so this is excellent. This is this works.
how's it going, man?
Good, good.
I was listening to you on the train, and got into the office. No, I'm the only one here, so figured might as well
Hey,
hop on with the boy.
awesome. Well, who do you? I don't know how easy it is for you to see, but we're coming up. Don't know if you can see the board or who you kind of like in this range. I would probably take like Diggs or Pacheco here, but I don't know who you fancy kind of when you're in this position. We got a 2-3, two running backs, three receivers here.
Ooh, man, this is tough. I probably like a receiver here. We can go Diggs, set up a little Drake May thing later on. I
All
don't
right, I
mind
like that.
that. Yeah.
Works for me. All right, so now we're coming around in 5 picks. Probably another running back, although Sam Laporta is an option. We do have Jameson Williams on the team. Again, I don't know if you're a Laporta guy or what your kind of feeling is there. I tend to not go 5 receivers before a third running back, but I'm open to getting loose here.
Balanced builds are in, some are saying. So I don't mind it.
All right, all right. So where would we go here? Would you go? I'm a little bit out on Montgomery. I don't know if you're a Montgomery guy, but
Yeah, it's tough. Candyman kind of his ballsy take was that Gibbs is kind of just gonna be the guy. So yeah, you wanna go Pacheco, get
yeah,
a
let's
little
do
upside here.
love it. Hey, this team's coming together. I like it. I like the Diggs call there. I think that worked for us because there's definitely a strong Diggs May community out there that that might not have let him go around the corner there. So yeah, perfect. All right, so far we've got a 0-3-4. We've got Taylor, Ken Walker, Pacheco. We've got CD Lamb, MHJ, Jameson Williams, and Steph Diggs. I like what we've got cooking here so far. So yeah, Bindles, how's your streaming going? Can you let the people know where you're at, what you've been up to lately?
Yeah, man, it's been going well. Taking a step back from last year when I was streaming every day and burning myself out. So yeah, once a week, we're alternating over on my channel and on Candyman's channel with the Ballsy show. We've had some pretty fun guests on. We have Ryan Heath coming on Monday. John Daigle and some other big names coming on in the coming weeks. So yeah, if you guys like, kind of a different show, we try to play up the production value, play up the characters and the bits, and yeah, man, if you guys, this has been great. Every morning when I come in, I just got mandated back into the office 4 days per week, and so on the train, and I'm listening to Chad Candles in the morning. So it's an absolute must watch.
Hey, I really appreciate it, and I'm glad. Yeah, I know. We try. This is your high production value ball knowing. This is more like Good Morning America. Like you're not gonna learn a lot, but hopefully you have a good time and you like hanging out and just kind of start the day a little.
Hey! Don't sell yourself too short. Come on.
All right, let's see what we got coming up here. Hawkinson is a possibility if we want to really build out the team fully before anything else. I'm really out on Etienne. We got Warren possibility. Wide receiver room, we got a few injured guys. We've got Mooney, Ayuk, and then Cook, Coleman. What do you kind of do here? It looks like Hawkinson just went.
Yeah, it's tough to take. We could go Kyler.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could go Kyler. We could go Mahomes with Pacheco and backstack him, although Hollywood's hurt.
Yeah,
got Kyler in the queue.
Probably link Kyler or Warren. If we want to go the leg up route, we could go Warren, but otherwise, I'm good just taking Kyler. Yeah, and
I'm good with Kyler. I think that's
eating my Kyler vegetables.
Here. Yeah, a little vegetable-y, but Oh wait, no, we have MHJ. What am I? I forgot we had MHJ. I thought we were taking him naked. This is, yeah, there we go. All right, we're good. We're good. We're back in business. I should probably know my own team that I'm drafting here. All right, and so then with our next selection here, we could queue up Warren. We could keep the leg up crowd happy. You know, we're probably, you know, if we can get Drake May, he'll probably be our next pick after this. But he likely won't be there. I mean, we could double tap quarterback and just take May now. I don't know, you know, if that seems a little bit aggressive. We could add one of these receivers, a couple.
Yeah, it kind of just depends on what we think the opportunity cost is here. Like if there's anyone where we really like Scatabo just went. I know that's one of our guys. I mean, yeah, it's probably. This is probably where I think Drake May should go, anyways. So it's like I don't hate it personally, but it just depends on if you think Warren is worth it versus some of the guys we can get later on.
I'm not like a huge Warren guy. I think I would. I'd be more upset if May. It could, because I feel like if we lose out on Goff and Dak, then now we're like back stacking again. Like I don't know, and then we probably like have to go 3 QB, and I feel like it might get away from us a little bit. So I'm fine with that.
No, I mean, hey, two Konami quarterbacks stacked up. That's, you know, not a bad thing at all. I feel like this is the kind of the QB window, as some say, and yeah, we can finish at 2. We don't have to. If something falls to us, we can do it, but we don't have to now.
Yeah, and it looks like Dak went off at 102. I assume to the Pickens drafter. So he's been going earlier and earlier. It feels like the Pickens hype has been a little bit out of control, and I think that's also helped pull Dak up a little bit. This is pretty late for Baker at 106. That's a nice value for that guy. That's almost a full round ahead of where he goes. Although he used that round on Joe Mixon, so we'll see if that actually pays off for him. I don't know. Is Mixon off your board? Because right now he's. I don't know how far. I don't know what point I'd take him. There is a point, but I have not identified it yet, and so
it's pretty tough. I mean, I think it would have to be probably like around 100 something, or maybe after Scatabo, like this range, like the Scatabo Warren range. Like apparently he's going to be ready for week 1. Apparently. So he's never really been good anyways. Like it's just like he's a volume sponge. So like if he can give you 10 weeks of just being a volume sponge, that's probably worth it, even if he falls off end of season. But then the injury thing kind of also is like, okay, is he going to hold up in the beginning of the season? So I think it's still worth it. Let him fall for sure. Until we kind of get some more definitive news. But I feel like Best Ball Bros we hate Joe Mixon in general. So it's like, it's hard to parse that, right? So
yeah, that's reasonable. So we're coming back up. Evan Ingram would be a nice ADP value. I'd probably just take the tight end here. But
sure,
I'm open to whatever I feel like.
Yeah, we don't have anything else that's super standing out. I'm good with Ingram. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I really like Kraft. I also like Njoku. I don't know about Judkins here. He's another whole discussion about how far to let someone fall. We probably should take another wide receiver, I would assume, with our next pick, like a Bateman, Kirk, Mims.
Yeah.
I'll pull up who.
Slot Demon.
I mean, I think I think we got to put Slot Demon at the top of the queue here, and then it kind of gets gross. It gets gross real fast.
How do you feel about Hollywood? I haven't clicked him very many times at all.
I was clicking him because it felt like the mature thing to do, like early in the year. Like everyone was so down on him. It's like, well, you know, he's gonna be out there, and you know, but now I'm like, Hollywood Brown's not that good. Like I don't know, man. There's a lot of targets. They're talking about like Juju being like the leader of the room. I'm like, this is just gonna be so gross. I think it's just slot demon here, right? Like,
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
okay. If you prefer Mims, we could do it. I mean, we did just take Ingram if we want to bet.
I am not a Marvin Mims guy. I would
right.
much rather have
I didn't
Christian
think
Kirk.
you were. It's hard to keep track of everyone's takes.
100%, yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'll for the audio listeners, what we've got going, we've got a 2-3-5-1. We've got Kyler and Drake May, Jonathan Taylor, Ken Walker, and Pacheco at running back, CD Lamb, MHJ, Jamison Williams, Steph Diggs, and Christian Kirk at receiver, with Evan Ingram holding down the tight end room. Yeah, that's teams coming together so far. But yeah, so is the Mims take more like Harvey is just gonna eat all of the good Mims stuff? Is it like a snap share? Is it a player take? Like all of the above?
It's kind of all of the above.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not in on him. He ran hot. Like he had some. He's just kind of a gadget player to me. He's like what people think Jaden Reed is, where like he's literally like not running into wide receiver sets. He's getting all these scheme touches, like that kind of thing. But it's like that's actually what he is. Versus, I think Jaden Reed is more than that personally. But I'm definitely biased. So
yeah. Hartman, going back to you, should I take Kyler Stack or a different mystery QB? Hartman, I forgot that I had MHJ on the team. So yes, that was probably the most obvious. Bindles was so nice. It's like, yeah, you should probably take Kyler Murray on this team, please. Click Kyler Murray. So, who aims? Yeah, we're cooked if May isn't good this year. If we get positive news, he'll be cheaper. Yeah. Yeah, if May is bad, us and everyone over at Leg Up are in trouble. Cage at and the two holes craving attention. I'll check that in a second. Is anyone a Marvin Mims guy? I haven't really found him. Hartman. Marvin Mims is not.
Short King Summer, dude.
Yeah, people are out on. And the one hole is indeed jealous of you, dirty piece. So the two hole, he's got Mahomes, Love, and McCarthy. So yeah, just he's stacking up quarterbacks. At least those do appear to be stacks. So he's not totally out of the realm of things, although I don't know, is Love stacked? Either way, we're coming up. We've got we could pair up Slot Demon with Stroud. I don't know if you're 3 QB at all costs or would just take one later.
I like probably Ray Day, Grendo, Benson.
Okay.
Do we have any correlation here to push us one way or the other?
I think
really.
Ray Day and Drake are like week 16, I think. But
yeah,
I'm fine with Davis. I think it was time to take another running back there. I don't love Dylan Sampson. I just never really liked his profile. I don't know. I'm fine taking him. Like, this is the new price, but I haven't been super in on him.
I see your 23% Bashal Tootin, so I'm also sad that he went before our pick, because that's kind of near his new price, is like around like 135-ish. I've been seeing him go, so.
I guess we could have taken Bigsby. Dirty P gets him. I like that pick. I think he's going to continue to rise. That his ADP is in the 150s, but I think that's fake. I think I think it just
fake
react. So there's a couple good there's Dallas Goedert is still here. There's Garendo, makes sense. Also, if we wanted to take a naked third QB, we could. But I assume like.
I kind of like Goddard, but I'm also.
I like Goddard.
Yeah, what do we think we need more here for this team? Because we can be done. We can be done at 2 tight ends if we want.
Yeah. I feel like that's too. This is kind of the line. This is like about as thin as I get with 2 tight ends, like Ingram, Goddard. But like
we can stack a third if one falls. It's like we can definitely do it.
No, I love Goddard at this price. I think he's definitely like too cheap where he goes here. I don't really understand. It's like we punished him for potentially getting traded, and then we never like took him out of timeout. So
basketball market is weird like that. Like I think it's, people say it all the time. I'm not saying anything groundbreaking, but yeah, it's very it's easy for guys to rise and harder for guys to fall because people will just take them. So like and then people, it's just sticks in your brain where people are going, and you're just like, okay, well, I know in this round I can take this guy. Like you don't want to be taking guys ahead of ADP and all that. So I don't think like if you were to tell me Goddard was going around the Kraft, Loveland, Ingram, that range, I wouldn't really bat an eye.
We would just all take him there. Like
all the, and it's also there's so many tight ends that you could be into in this range. Like you see, it's how much blue is here, right? Like I'm
even now Pitts is kind of snuck into this tier. Like
exactly, right? But yeah, I mean like Warren, Njoku, Ferguson got his new contract. Like there's so many guys where you could make the case for them where it's just like they all get pushed back collectively.
Yeah, makes sense there. So Garenda would be a nice bit of a fall. We're kind of now in, again, to me this tier gets really flat as far as wide receiver between these and the guys that like virtually go undrafted. I don't take a lot of Jaden Blue. I don't take much Jalen Wright, but I could. Jerome Ford. If I'm not taking Samson,
Garendo falling that far, that would have been crazy.
We could. I mean, Hunter Henry is top of the queue, and he stacks with May. We could take Geno.
Yeah, it just depends. I'm fine going Henry, unless you think there's a receiver that we want to, since we only have 5. But
like, I don't know. At that point, like, how much better is Pat Bryant than like Slayton? I don't know. I feel like
probably not that much.
Not that much. That's kind of where I'm at in this range. But I don't want to build the same team every single time either. So I do want to take some of these guys in this area here.
Yeah, I mean we had.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say we have the Taylor, Walker, Pacheco start, and so we can conceivably stop at 5 if we really wanted to. Probably not, and then we definitely need some more receivers. So
we could, if we want a third quarterback, Darnold and Walker we have on the team, and then we could take a late Seahawk, or we're kind of just looking at one of these probably receivers in this range.
Yeah, I like Pierce or McMillan.
I think
pick your poison.
I'll do Pierce. I have almost a full fade on McMillan, and this is a Husky, so I'm like, I don't really want to have just like a random McMillan in one of my 10 Huskies, so I'll lean towards Pierce. I don't want to be totally out on McMillan, but I'm like pretty out on McMillan.
I was completely out, and now I'm like, I'll mix him in just with kind of the Godwin stuff, and like there's some upside there in terms of just the older guys in front of him, but I completely agree. Like I was like, why is he not going in round 8, like 16 or 17 and not the early 15th?
Like, why are we taking the 4th receiver like on this team? But I mean, with the Godwin news, with Evans being old, he's has some level of incumbency. He probably has some value. I guess to me, it's going to come down to like health on that team.
100%. Yeah.
All right, let's pull the board up, see if anyone's doing anything too wonky, so people can follow along. Geno goes, Darnold goes, so the quarterback window is pretty closed. A-Rich has returned from the depths. I don't know where you fall on the great A-Rich, Daniel Jones. Don't take either triumvirate there.
You know what? I was heavily Daniel Jones, but I mean, I feel like Alec Pearson, A-Rich are kind of like the perfect match made in heaven late backstack.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. Like if I think we need a couple more receivers, but we could go one more receiver, one more running back, and one of those quarterbacks if it makes sense and where everything falls. I definitely was more Daniel Jones. I think it's more likely that he starts more games just because I think they're kind of over A-Rich. I think he's going to have a very short leash, even if he does play, but it'll probably be ping-ponging back and forth. So like, it's like, okay, who do you think will be starting week 17? I think they'll probably be over A-Rich at that point. So probably Daniel Jones, but your guess is as good as mine on that. that one. That's like
I
one where I'm just like kind of throwing my hands up and just being like, I don't really know.
Yeah, I know. I was early. I was on A Rich, then I was all on Daniel Jones. Jalen McMillan came back to us. I think we should just take him, right?
Yeah, I think ADP value. Let's just do it.
If we're ever gonna do it, we'll do it here. I'll take these guys out of the queue. There's a few running backs here I don't mind. I like Dowdle, Shipley. I don't think we need Giddens. Lloyd. I'm kind of off of that with the injury there. Going down into the depths, I like Taj Brooks. Woody Marks has come up. Are there any late round running backs you're into, or is that kind of track with players you're in on? You can say no. Like
I'm pretty into. I like Taj Brooks a lot.
Okay. Yeah.
So fine with doing that. Rico, I'm a little bit off of just because of ETN. Like, I'm like, is Rico the RB2? Probably, but late season.
Mm-hmm.
I think Shipley is an ETRS pick, but I'm fine with it. Any correlation here that we want to? I'm fine going Brooks. Yeah,
Taj Brooks is week 17 with Arizona, so
yeah, let's do that.
Okay, all right. So we'll do Taj Brooks, and then with our last pick, do we I assume running back? I mean, if we take a quarterback, Daniel Jones is out there. I mean, A Rich already went. It would have to be like an unstacked show or giant. Chuck, or Giant. It's pretty gross.
What do we think adds more to the team? Like, because we could do Danny Dimes. I don't think we need to. We do have the Indy correlation with Taylor and Alec Pierce.
Right.
Do we feel strong enough at running back with those five?
We've got Jonathan Taylor, Ken Walker, Pacheco, Ray Davis, Taj Brooks. Yeah, we're kind of like at the border a little bit to me.
What's your gut saying here?
It's so hard for me to click Daniel Jones now with like all the steam being on like clearly on A-Ridge, but it's also like well, Daniel Jones goes, so okay. The decision has been made for us. We're gonna take a running back. So I'm just gonna add a few names just so we don't have nobody in the queue. All right. Woody Marks, Keaton Mitchell, Elijah Mitchell, Monungai, Jordan James, Tucker, Etienne. Any of those calling?
I think it would probably be Marks for me if he makes it to us. I like Jarquez Hunter. He's one of my favorite clicks as well. So those would be my two. But I think
I like Jarquez Hunter. I just kind of just clicking names there. But Jarquez Hunter, I'm into. I think. I'm worried Woody Marks is going to be like one of those like moment in time, like, oh yeah, remember when we were drafting him and then they like traded for Singletary. So Woody Marks goes. I'm fine with Jarquez Hunter here.
I mean, obviously we have the Stafford stuff with his. I believe it's his back, right? It's always his back, or is that I forget? Yeah. But I don't know. I think the Rams are going to be good offense, pending injury. But I think he's different than Corum is more of a 1-for-1 like backup to Kyron. They're super similar, but Jarquez Hunter is has a lot more juice and kind of brings something different. So I think he could have probably not a ton of standalone value, but some scheme touches, some swing passes, some screen passes, that kind of stuff. Outside runs, tosses, kind of get him out in space stuff. And we like the offense, we like the play caller. And then, obviously contingent upside. I think it would be more Corum in the 1-for-1, but if he's the rookie, he just kind of comes on strong end of the season. I think it's a really good pick in the 18th round. So,
yeah, definitely. All right, so for the audio listeners, we ended with a 2-6-7-3 here. We've got Kyler and Drake May, a running back room of Jonathan Taylor, Ken Walker, Isaiah Pacheco, Ray Davis, and then a couple of rookies with Taj Brooks and Jarquez Hunter. Wide receiver room of CeeDee Lamb, MHJ, Jamison Williams, Steph Diggs, Slot Demon, Alec Pierce, and Jalen McMillan, and a tight end room of Evan Ingram, Dallas Goedert, and Hunter Henry. I like the team. I think it makes sense.
This is a very fun one. I like it a lot. It's Kyler and May two QBs is perfectly fine, and they're both stacked. Taylor, I think I've been coming around on Taylor. I think where he goes, he's just a very good
Yeah.
click.
He was
Same
like
with
the
Walker.
101 3 years ago. Like, people forget.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, we're talking about the A-Rich Daniel Jones situation. Like, definitely
Please be
think,
Daniel Jones.
yeah, even if we get some Daniel Jones, if it's half the season of Daniel Jones, that should help Taylor with his targets, and that definitely helps. And it's just a more functional offense. Kenneth Walker, I've been huge on. I know, like, I see Gretsch take him in like the third round in some of the drafts he's doing. I think that's also because it's on FFPC, so it's a little bit more boomer. But
Right.
I wouldn't bat an eye if he were going like kind of 3-4 turn up until like the early mid third area. Like, I think it's weird. That's another one we were talking about, like kind of like Goddard goes, where he goes and just no one questions it or no one does anything. I was talking with Coach Speak Index when he was on Ballsy. It was about a month ago now, but like I was kind of saying like, oh, where do you think he should go? And he was kind of just saying like, there can't be any more good Coach Speak about him. It's been really good the whole time, but he's just kind of steadied off. Like, no one, he's not moving up any further. So Pacheco,
I have this theory that Seattle players in every sport go later than they should. It's been like always a thing. Like, Mariners players, like in baseball, go late. Like, Seahawks, like, I don't know what it is. I feel like from the time, like, I remember like Sean Alexander going late. Like, I used to play fantasy 1,000 years ago, and I'm like, no, this guy should be like higher than he is. Like, for some reason, Seattle players seem perennially undervalued, and I feel like I don't know what it is. Maybe because they play later or they're in the Pacific Northwest.
I didn't know you were a Pacific Northwest guy, Chad.
I'm not. I went to Arizona State, so I became a West Coast slappy for a while. I'm in Baltimore now, but I lived out there. Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were talking a lot about Seattle. I think you mentioned something about Seattle earlier, so I was just like, okay, maybe that's what's going on.
No, just spent a little time all over the place, but yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. Hey, thank you so much for hopping in. I was going to do a Badge Bros Brawl. You're welcome to stick around for that. Those are moved very fast, so it's up to you.
I mean, I think I have to go at 10:30. I have a meeting, but
okay.
Until then, I'm good. I have no idea what's going on with Badge Bros Balls, so I probably won't be much of a help, but I can co-pilot with you. And also, thank you for letting me randomly hop in.
Hey, no problem.
The pleasure is all mine to join. I like I said, I'm a fan of the Chad Candles YouTube channel, and I figured, I would love to hop on with you and get to talk ball with you. So,
you're not at Bindles. What is your YouTube channel at? Sorry, I'm trying to find this on the fly so I could put it in the chat.
Oh, I think it's at Bindles90.
Okay, perfect. All right, let me get that in the chat. Then I'll hop in the I will hop in the Badge Bros Brawl. I'll do a little countdown if anyone wants to get in. But they're all right. So this is for anyone who does not follow. Definitely should follow Bindles. Doing fantastic stuff out there. Let me count this down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we'll hop in the Badge Bros Brawl. So. Yeah, these are six max. Same. It's 1 of 6, 1 of 5, 1 of 5, 375. So the math works out to where you're expected to make the finals if you max it. Like it works out to exactly. If you do 150 and you get a normal advance rate, you should get one team through, which is nice. I mean, obviously you're not guaranteed to get anything, but it's like, your odds are, decent enough to where if you max it with decent structure, you should get something in there. So it looks like we got some friends and family in here. We've got a UCF Jaguar and ATX Bearcat. So it's always good to let the people in the room know what your strategy is. But I tend to do earlier running back, and I like to have at least one of the 4 elite rushing QBs on every team. That's been kind of my like tick. At the very, I don't always do early running back because like I don't, if you need Lamb and Puka and like you don't have them, like you're done. So I don't want every team to be like that.
Sure.
But the elite quarterback thing, I think is just like almost table stakes. Like it's very hard for me to imagine one of the elite QBs not being who you need, if not to advance, then at the very least to like get through the playoff gauntlet. So
Yeah, no, that
so
makes sense.
It's gonna be hard to ask who you want. What I like to do also, I tend to like to build one back stack that's not owned in every contest, like the Panthers stack. Like Ted McMillan goes in every contest, but Bryce Young's gonna go, I don't know, a quarter of them or maybe even less.
Sure.
Building
Get some
out
leverage on the field there.
yeah, building out a Titans Cam Ward stack, building out a Drake May. Drake May's not drafted in every contest, nor is like Steph Diggs. Just the way it works out. So there's going to be a lot of people that just like build super teams by ADP, and it's like, well, even if that team gets to the finals, you're going to have like no uniqueness, like no level of uniqueness there. Elite running back is pretty thick here. If this guy doesn't take Genty, I'll probably take Nico and then look to add another running back. It's kind of my strategy. There's kind of 3 elite tight ends: Bowers, McBride, and Kittle, and after that, it's like it's so flat. You know what? I'm gonna take Genty, and then I'll take a receiver here. So we've got Bijan and Genty to start with. Is there anyone super elite player you want to take a stand on? Because I can just take them.
I mean, I'm good if Amon-Ra or BTJ fall to us.
They both fell, so Amon-Ra or BTJ.
I think we go BTJ.
Perfect, because I'm actually underweight BTJ in this contest. I didn't want to put my thumb on the scale, but I'm glad because I looked and I'm like, I don't have as much BTJ as I want. So I like that. That's another example. Jag stack. Like if we make Travis Hunter a priority, no one's gonna take T-Law, and we can take T-Law later. And no one's gonna take like Tank Bigsby. Like, obviously I'm saying this so maybe one of the guys in the room gets cute, but like, I know, I'm 150 maxing. I don't care if somebody snipes me in this contest on stream. It's fun.
Man.
So, the ADPs also, I don't know if you've done many of these. They are like virtually meaningless. Like you saw McBride just went here. George Kittle's probably going to go like way before, not way before, but he's going to go before pick 38. They become kind of fraudulent here. These we'll see what comes to us. Any of these receivers stick out as particular to prioritize for you?
London or Ladd, but yeah, what did Kittle go?
Kittle has not gone yet.
Do we? Well, let's push. We have another pick, so yeah.
Yeah, if we do London and we have London and Bijan, and then maybe we do like Giga Falcon situation here, I'm fine with that too. I'm gonna take Ladd out of the queue, and then queue up. If Hampton's not gonna come to us, are you?
I'm good with Hampton, yeah.
All right, let's do Hampton here. So for the audio listeners, we've got Bijan, Genty, and Hampton, and a wide receiver room of of Brian Thomas and Drake London. So again, it's hard to make these teams and them not be like, oh my God, how does this team lose? Because it's like you're so used to BBM, and then you get these super teams. So elite quarterback has. We might have missed the window. We missed the window. This went much earlier than normal, and that happened because ATX Bearcat, he double tapped quarterback here, which people do. So he took Daniels and Hurts. So we are going to end up just with a 3 QB team, no elite quarterback. We'll just have to make it up by picking the right stacks, and that is okay. George Kittle went, Tyreek went. If we take MHJ, we could potentially prioritize Kyler. I think that's kind of the best way to go.
Kyler or
do you want Wilson Fields?
Yeah, let's go Wilson Fields. All right. That feels better to me. Yeah.
We'll queue him up. Fields, I think we can wait on another hair. Let's see. I'm trying to think of other options. If we do the Bijan thing, I mean, we could queue up Devontae Adams as a potential bring back. But again, it's like pick your all-star receiver. If we take Worthy, sometimes Rice falls, and then we could do Mahomes.
Ooh.
good with
I
you?
kind of like Adams for the
All
bring
right.
back.
Well, we'll do Adams. I think that's perfectly fine. So we'll get Adams on the team here. Starting to think about how we're going to stack. So I mean, we've got Penix, we've got Fields, we've got T-Law. I don't really think I want Matt Stafford in this contest. Maybe that's a little bit of a leak. I just think of all of the like pocket. Like Matt Stafford will have like 4 touchdowns, 350 yards, and then have 16 fantasy points. I'm like, I don't understand it. He never scores fantasy points.
It breaks your brain.
It breaks your brain every year. Like I'm like, why? Like the Rams like went nuts and Stafford was like QB 8 on the week. Like,
yeah,
okay.
It's somehow it defies logic. But.
All right, cool. Let's start thinking. Travis Hunter, if we want to prioritize double stacking, we can. We probably could push that one more pick if we want. We could take like any of these awesome receivers.
Yeah. Is there anything? Let's think through.
Who do the?
I mean, I like Ted or Pickens.
All right, let's do Ted. I like Ted here. I think that's nice. And then we're already at 5 receivers, and we'll probably stop at 7 or even 6.
Okay. Yeah. If Hunter's there and we don't have anything, I guess Hunter is here.
Yeah, Hunter's here.
Yeah, do we want to do the double? Do you want to do the double and just?
Yeah.
We can get T-Law.
Yeah, let's do the T-Law double. So let me queue up. All right, let's see. What did we end up? We got Fields. I'm just putting them in the queue just so we don't like lose track of our stacks. We've got T-Law. We've got Fields, and then Penix. I think makes sense. Fields is the one that I'm most worried about going. We could look at tight end if we want any of these sort of elite-ish tight ends. Laporta, Hawkinson. It's so flat there. Also, if we want to add like running back is still halfway decent at this point. Kamara, Connor, Harvey, Travion. Any of those names really like. What's that?
Sorry, I like any of those top 3 running backs. Yeah.
All right. I'll queue.
Probably lean to Connor or Travion, but.
I'm trying to think if there's any like correlation.
Yeah, any correlation or anything. Arizona, no.
I'm just gonna take Travion, and then wait a second here. All right, so you'd say Connor also, because we could just do Connor. Or what about tight end? Do you think there's any need to take like Laporta or Hawk, or are you kind of good in this like next tier, this Andrews, Warren, Crafty?
How many tight ends are we typically taking in this?
I typically take 3, especially if I didn't get Bowers or McBride.
I think we push tight end. Let's go running back.
Kamara, Caleb.
Let's go Kamara. Yeah.
Okay. We'll do Kamara here.
Take some olds. Take an old.
Yeah. And then I'm just gonna put a bunch of tight ends in the queue. We can decide. We can decide which ones we actually want here.
If we're going 3, then I think that's like we can. There's still a lot of good options we can stack up.
Yeah. We have one more potential option here. If we want to add another receiver, we could add Diggs, and we could do Diggs and May with Travion instead of one of T-Law or Penix there. And I imagine we'd kick out Penix because we have. Oh no, we didn't. Did we get the? We did get the double. We got the Jacksonville double. But I'm also okay if we just have the double without the bring back there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this is where my lack of Badge Bros.
No, it's just like do whatever you want. that's the thing.
Let's go Fields.
I'm gonna definitely take Fields because I want one like QB that can just like smash the slate with rushing.
I feel like Fields, and then let's go T-Law and Penix. Because we have London and Bijan, so let's just kind of make a team bet.
So with that, I'm not really worried about T-Law or Penix getting sniped from us. Do we want to? I think we really just at this point need tight end or one more receiver. If any of these like receivers really strike your fancy, or we could take another running back.
I like Andrews.
Like Andrew, yeah, Andrews is.
I feel like he is super undervalued in general, and with the likely injury, it's not anything crazy, but maybe he just gets off to a little bit of a hotter start, which is always never a bad thing. So
no, and I think he's gonna be a riser. I think he's gonna be a riser as well. Yeah, Dirty P here did 4 QB in one of these. Well, who knows what works here? Bo Nix may have been in that group. And then Nick, hey Nick, thanks for coming in and hanging out with us. Really appreciate y'all spending some time here this morning. And Bindles, again, thank you so much for doing this. This has been a lot of fun.
The pleasure is all mine to be joining, man. Yeah, thank you.
Of course. Again, I'm not super worried about T-Law or Penix going. Like, someone at this point would really have to go out of their way. Any tight ends you're into? I really like Kraft. I'm pretty big on Kraft. But
Kraft and Joku, like both of those.
Are you Loveland pilled? I mean, if we wanted to turn one of these guys, we could take like a Mason Taylor or Brenton Strange.
I think we have the others. I think we have the other stacks. So like, let's just like we have the other stacks. We can go through that and just hope our tight ends make 2 touchdowns. So
okay.
I'm good with Loveland. I love Njoku as well.
Okay.
So good with either.
Let me just. I might tie. I don't know if I need to tie break it to week 9 bye between Loveland and Njoku, but I don't know. I don't care about the one.
I don't care. But yeah, Loveland is definitely getting great camp reports.
All right, let's do Loveland. That's a little more fun. By the end of the year, I mean there is a universe where Fannon's eating our lunch with Njoku, and that would really kind of suck. I'm not worried about that with Loveland.
Loveland is just all around good pick right now.
Cool. I realize I'm missing a selection. We have one more mystery pick. We've got T-Law, Penix, and then a quote-unquote luxury pick where we could take a running back or receiver here. Normally, I like to have a scroll-down weirdo that nobody owns, but I feel like with the T-Law, Penix stacks, we're unique enough for me to where I don't need to take like QJ, like I'm just some like oddball guy.
I mean, if Jaden Reed makes it to us, I would have a hard time passing up.
Yeah, Jaden Reed makes sense, and we have Tucker Kraft. So if for some reason someone snipes us, we could take Love instead, or we could take Love instead anyway if you prefer him.
Ooh, I mean, it's kind of that weird thing where you're like, do I stack the higher drafted player versus? Let's see.
Reed.
Let's go Reed first.
Yeah, we'll take Reed first, then we have a little optionality there. We'll take Jaden Reed. And now T-Law, Penix, or Love. That's why I like Badger vs. Brawls. You do have like fun decisions you don't get to make elsewhere. So
let's go T-Law first, okay. And then
T-Law to me does make the most sense because like having Hunter and BTJ without T-Law feels a little squirrely. Whereas with Penix, we have Bijan, so if it's like Bijan smash, like Penix might or might not get there, like if he's not involved. I mean, we do have Drake London. It is our 7th receiver and our 2nd tight end that we're stacking, but I don't know. I'm fine either way. Like I really like both options.
Yeah, no, it's.
I feel like you're leaning Love. So
it's weird. Like I want to be in on Penix so bad, and like we have Bijan in London, so like I don't know. I feel like my rational brain is saying go Penix for that, but I don't know. I think it's like we saw him for like what 4 games. Like I'm hoping, but it's like I think Love, like we've at least seen him for a stretch, like,
right?
Be really good, and last year I think was very injury focused, and like that we didn't get to really see
Yeah. No,
what
it
it
was
is.
completely
And they
different
like
after the
coach.
injury. I agree with you. So they might pass significantly more. I don't know, maybe with the Lloyd stuff, like there's a little more leaning on the passing game from Pennick or from Love. So yeah, well, let's do Jordan Love. That's fine with me.
Okay, let's rip it. Yeah.
All right. He is in. So the team ends up being a 3-5-7-3. Justin Fields, T. Law, and Jordan Love. Running back room of Bijan, Genty, Omarion Hampton, Travion Henderson, and Alvin Kamara. Wide receiver room of BTJ, Drake London, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, Ted McMillan, Travis Hunter, and Jaden Reed. And then Mark Andrews, Tucker Kraft, and Colston Loveland. It's like, how does this team lose? How does this go wrong? And then you look at the other 5 teams and you're like, these teams are pretty good too. But that's
It's almost like there's less teams drafting in this one.
Yeah, I know. But it is fun. Honestly, these are fun to like break up. I don't want to say the monotony of the like 12-person drafts, but it's like they can feel very formulaic. It can feel like you're doing the same things, and it is nice to like build just a super team. Like we had a plan. We're like, okay, we're gonna do this double stack. We're gonna get this quarterback, and like you can get it. Like it's gonna like, I mean, you know, sometimes someone else will have the same plan, but like you can like plan ahead and do these things, and you get a little less just like, why did this guy take Jordan Love? He didn't have anybody. Like that's not gonna happen in this draft. Like it just doesn't make sense. There's like no reason to do it. So
yeah, no, it's good to switch it up. Different, you know, you got to exercise your brain in different ways. You can't do 12-man drafts all the time.
No. But hey, Bindles, thank you so much for coming in. I think I'll probably wrap it here. Clipper Nation 634, thanks so much for popping in. Andrews is likely a riser, and Red Sick 4QB is dead. That's not nice. It could be good. We don't know. We don't know. HX Bearcat had no idea what to do with your last picks. Well, that's how it goes. You end up with like 5 different paths you can take, and it is a lot of fun. But yeah, everybody, thank you so much. If you can, please like and subscribe. Also, please make sure you subscribe. He's at Bindles90 on YouTube. Took time out of his morning to join us. And hey, Bindles, really appreciate it. I had so much fun hanging with you today.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Make sure you go get at least 3 or 4 modalities in during the day today. Otherwise, it's a lost day. So
it's all over.
That's all I'll say.
Awesome. Well, everyone, thank you again for hanging out, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Take care, everyone.